Good morning and happy holidays. We are coming to you live from Central Avenue in the heart of downtown Phoenix. I'm Katie Rammel.
And I'm Steve Irvin. You're about to see some great family entertainment over the next couple of hours. In front of all of these people along Central Avenue, you're going to see hundreds of marchers.
Get ready for some spectacular floats, giant balloons, wonderful marching bands. It is going to be a great afternoon. Let's get this party started up there from Air 15 for the 43rd Annual Fort McDowell Fiesta Bull Parade.
And let's send it over to Amber Sullins, who's live along the parade route.
Good morning. On behalf of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, the Tribal Council welcomes you to the 43rd Annual Fiesta Bowl Parade. A central facet of the Yavapai culture is sharing, and it's reflected in their everyday life and in their motto, never give up, always give back. That is why sponsoring this event is so important to them and to us. It's our gift to you. And look up in the sky. It's a beautiful day and a flyover from the B-17 Flying Fortress bomber. It's operated by the commemorative Air Force Air Base Arizona Aviation Museum at Falcon Field in Mesa. More than 12,000 of these bombers were manufactured by Boeing, serving as the backbone of the strategic bombing campaign in Europe during World War II. Steve and Katie rides in the B-17 and in 6 other World War II aircraft can be scheduled at the museum.
And this year's parade highlights Arizona's vast diversity and cultural richness of the people of this great state. Fort McDowell, being part of the very fabric of this region, is proud to be a part of this iconic event for more than 10 years.
And the nation also honors our brave men and women who serve and protect us every day, keeping the public safety at hand. And we're paying special tribute this year to the fallen firefighters in the Yarnell Hill fire. Fort McDowell equally privileged to have spent some time with some of the families of those Granite Mountain hotshots, and we're proud to have them as our Grand Marshals today as well. The nation welcomes the families and feels fortunate to share some time with them, and they wish all of you a blessed holiday season and a happy and healthy new year. And your Arizona Ford dealers, proud to be the official vehicle of the Fort McDowell Fiesta Bowl Parade this year, as well as the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl.
Can you believe it's already time for that game as well? So much fun here in Arizona. We encourage you to visit your Arizona Ford dealer to test drive Ford's fuel-efficient lineup of cars and trucks and SUVs, or simply log on at home to your local FordDealer.com to learn even more. And you can hear the party behind us and see the dancers there. They have already gotten started.
Yeah, the folks from the Club Dance Studio there. We want to remind you, too, the Fort McDowell Veterans Association Honor Guard represents the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation at events across the United States, honoring those brave men and women who've served in the U.S. Armed Forces.
The Veterans Association has honored our fallen warrior, Lori Piastoa, and also served as the color guard and marched in the grand procession at the opening of the National Museum of American Indians in Washington, D.C.
As we check out the folks from the Club Dance Studio, we want to tell you they range in age from 4 to 15. They're from all the way from Queen Creek here, and the girls love to march in parades and perform on the big stage. If you want more information, you can check out www.clubdancestudio.com.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch them out here practicing and performing earlier this morning. They are just so spirited and have so much energy, and you can tell that they're used to performing in front of large crowds. They're great, comfortable.
Yeah. We want to get right to the parade and show you a familiar face to many of you. That's our ABC 15 meteorologist, Iris Hermosillo. You can see her on the weekend edition of ABC 15 Mornings, helping us stay on top of the latest forecast. And check out what she has in her hand. It's the all-new ABC 15 mobile app, completely reworked to be the best breaking news source in Arizona. Remember, you can download the app for free right now on your cell phone or tablet.
She's going to be tweeting about the parade. You see the hashtag there on the side of the truck, Fiesta Parade. So join in, have a conversation with her as she rides along the parade route, and share your thoughts of the floats right now with all of us along the parade.
Beautiful day for the parade, and we certainly want to thank the folks from Fort McDowell for once again sponsoring this great event. We want to welcome the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation Tribal Council, and the first rider is Ruben Balderas. He's the newly elected president there, serving in his first term of office. President Balderas accompanied by his children Connor and Jameson.
Yeah, you're right. You talked about how nice it is outside. This has been just a picture-perfect week for all of the visitors that we've had in town from all across the country for all of these bowl games and for the holiday. It's just been extremely nice weather across the valley.
As President, on behalf of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, it's my distinct privilege to welcome you to the 43rd Annual Fort McDowell Fiesta Bowl Parade. Fort McDowell proudly sponsors the parade as a way to give back to the community and all who supported us over the years. I also personally invite you to come visit us at Fort McDowell and experience beauty, exciting entertainment, and recreational activities we have to offer. From my family to yours, I wish all of you a very happy and safe New Year.
Works and enterprise businesses found in Indian country. Secretary of the National Indian Gaming Association, she's also received so many awards and accolades, including Woman of the Year by former Governor Jane D. Hull, and this past year's Indian Gaming Advocate of the Year recognition, and this past year's American Indian Excellence in Leadership Women of the Year Award. So quite a handful of awards for her, and congratulations on that.
Yeah, let's take a look now at the Fort McDowell Tribal Seal and Poco Sphere balloons. They're handled by members of the Fort McDowell Youth Council, and they're going to be followed by some of the other members of the Tribal Council here as well. Treasurer Pamela Mott, who's in her third term now of office, serving as the lead financial officer for the tribe's government and business enterprises, and she's a supporter of high school sports. She's accompanied by one of Fort McDowell's outstanding scholastic and basketball stars, Cherokee Davis, who's going to be graduating from Mott's alma mater, Mesa's Mountain View High School, and will be attending, ironically, Baylor University. This fall is going to be a Baylor Bear, so he's probably going to be cheering on the Baylor Bears there in the Fiesta Bowl. Mott works with the Yavapai youth by promoting and helping and teaching Yavapai traditional ways, and she's worked for Fort McDowell for nearly 25 years.
And you see some of the beautiful balloons in the skies there that we were talking about are all along the parade route. By the way, the other thing along the parade route, 90,000 bags of Tostitos given out during last year's bowl games and the Fiesta Bowl events, and they're planning on handing thousands of those out today along the parade route as well.
This is Councilmember Paul Russell. He's serving in his second term, and he promotes educational activities for Native Americans there. Involvement in the Yavapai youth has helped his tribe achieve high school graduation rates that have reached anywhere from 85 to 90% in the past few years. He currently serves as the treasurer of the Indian Gaming Association, and recently honored by the National Center for American Indian Enterprise Development as the recipient of the 40 Under 40 Award, recognizing those who demonstrated leadership, initiative, dedication, and significant contributions in business communities and to Indian country. You know, one of the great things about the Fiesta Bowl parade and seeing so many people here, you can always tell the folks that are coming from out of town, they're the folks that are wearing shorts and flip-flops heading out to the pool there. It may be a little cool for some Arizonans, but the great thing, of course, about the Fiesta Bowl is that it just generates a tremendous amount of economic impact for everybody in Arizona. About $1 billion over the last 5 years, and of course, in the history of the Fiesta Bowl, more than 3 million visitors have come here, so it's really been a spectacular event and really puts the eyes of the nation right on Arizona.
Yeah, and speaking of the eyes of the nation, a lot of people wearing those the sunglasses for tonight's game out here along the parade route. Sunny enough to do so today, so get to enjoy some of the nice weather we're having as well. We also want to bring in the Fort McDowell Farm and Yavapai Sphere balloons, which you're seeing going across right there. They're handled by members of the Fort McDowell's Youth Council. There are so many volunteers out here, not only in the parade, along the parade route, but taking part in all of the parties and the events leading up to the big game here in the Valley.
Yeah, it takes a lot of people and a lot of work to put this on, and it just wouldn't be possible without all of the volunteers who help out, setting this up, taking it all down, of course, and then putting on 2 football games in just a period of a few days as well. Some of the other council members we're going to see here, Pansy Thomas, who's serving in her first term. She's accompanied by her longtime boyfriend, Cameron Cleveland, and has served in the elected position of tribal secretary for 12 years before becoming a council member. And we just got a glimpse of Selena Castaneda supporting the day-to-day organization of the Tribal Council agenda activities and working with community members, providing an important and critical link between the community and the council. She's accompanied by her granddaughter, who also happens to be the 2013-2014 Fort McDowell Yavapai Princess, Liliana Castaneda, who attends first grade at McDowell Mountain.
What did you do on your holiday break? Quite a story to tell when she gets back to school. So many fun memories out here for so many of the kids who take part in practice all year long, and a lot of people fundraise before they can be a part of the event, traveling from all over the country. In fact, several bands are involved, and you're going to hear some of the music as it gets closer. There are 5 marching bands from Arizona schools, but marching bands from as far away, 2,000 miles away from Pittsburgh, who you'll see along this parade route. You see some of the spectators showing their colors for this week's games as well.
And next up, we're going to see the folks once again from Club Dance Studio out of Queen Creek. They helped open our show, and they're going to perform for us one more time. Once again, these are kids who really worked hard and practiced a great deal just to get here and to be a part of this parade. And you can just see them beaming with pride as they perform right here in front of the grandstand.
Yeah, it really builds their confidence as well through dance and through performing and through the leadership skills that they learn in this. Let's listen in and watch a bit. Some of those faces are just too cute. The dancers, as we mentioned earlier, range in age from 4 years old all the way up to 15. And for those of you who missed it or would like to take part, all these dancers are from Queen Creek, Arizona. That's where the dance studio is. You can find out more online about their club if you'd like to join.
Yeah, quick change for some of these kids, too, from the earlier costumes there. We're going to go next to the Play It Again Band. They're celebrating their 25th consecutive year in the parade, and they're going to be performing Play It Again along with Hey, Louie Louie, and Hang On Sloopy. The band's directed by Albert Grijalva and assisted by Gabe Lugo. Let's listen in.
Too bad nobody's having any fun out there. My goodness, I love that bright red nose.
Yeah, who says you have to be in high school to play in a marching band? It's great for a lot of these folks who still love to play their instruments and march in a parade, and it's quite a march indeed. They're going to go 2 miles down Central Avenue. You do the math on that, that's 3,600 steps they're going to be taking as they make their way all the way into downtown Phoenix.
The Fiesta Bowl twirl, palm, cheer, and flag and dance champs are here as well. They've been performing their winning routines from their championships. This is 200 youth, local youth. They form this unit each year. They range in age from 12 to 18, celebrating their 33rd year here. They're performing to the music of the Play It Again band. Remember, you can weigh in on our hashtag online right now as well.
And next up, we want to take a look at the Fiesta Bowl Spirit Balloon, the ever-familiar sun that you see so often in every Fiesta Bowl game. Spirit is Fiesta Bowl's only mascot. He can be found at all the Fiesta Bowl games, events, charity appearances around the valley. And if you see Spirit, make sure to snap a photo and then tag him on Facebook or tweet him at Fiesta Spirit on Twitter, and you can get the inside scoop on all the Fiesta Bowl events. It's not just the football games, of course, and the parades, but all kinds of wonderful events, and all of them benefiting charity. They donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to various youth organizations throughout the Valley area here each and every year. Just $1 million this year to 150 nonprofit organizations.
You know, in 1973, the parade had bands and floats and clowns. They had about 25,000 people show up to watch the parade. By 1974, this event had just exploded in size. We see some of the adorable spectators there. By 1974, they had 100,000 people along the parade route trying to check out what was happening down here along Central Avenue.
And, of course, the amazing thing is it continues to grow each and every year. Just got word, of course, this year that the Fiesta Bowl is going to be part of the 2016 National Championship game. Just one of the first National Championship games officially designated as part of the new college football playoff system here. And so it gets bigger and better every year and puts more and more of the spotlight right here on Arizona. Let's say hello to Brian Hall now, who's the Fiesta Bowl chairman of the board. He's joined by his wife, Carrie, son, Max, and daughter, Winza. Paul actually joined the Fiesta Bowl organization way back in 1986 and was elected to the board of directors in 1999 and is the chairman. Hall oversees the Fiesta Bowl organization, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, of course, the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl, and more than 40 related and statewide events. You see those guys in the yellow jackets, the men and women who help out in the Fiesta Bowl organization. They are the ones that do a lot of the work behind the scenes to make all of this happen every year.
Yeah, and they give back so much. They primarily have 2 funding cycles each fiscal year, in the fall and in the spring. And take note of this. For the 2013 fall grant cycle, Fiesta Bowl charities gave out more than $400,000 to Arizona charities. So just an incredible way that they give back. And although this event garners so much of the spotlight, there are, as you mentioned, Steve, events all throughout the year that lead up to this wonderful week here in the Valley.
And we see Robert Shelton there, and he just making his way through. This is Kelly Merrow now, the committee chairman. Merrow is part of the 2013 Fiesta Bowl committee chair. She's joined by his wife Cindy, daughters Quinn and Carson. Actually joined the Fiesta Bowl in 2005. He's volunteered for multiple events, including the Wells Fargo Fiesta Bowl $1 Million Hole-in-One, game operations, and the Queen and Court as well. I've taken part in the Hole-in-One, by the way, Katie.
I was going to say, how'd that go?
It's hard. It's really hard from about 130 yards out or so to try to put the ball in the hole. We actually had Rob Rutilla was the winner of that this year. He didn't get a hole-in-one, but he was the closest of the 48 golfing finalists there. 3 feet 9 inches,
wow,
which isn't bad.
He
and
still
he
won a
walks
prize,
away.
right?
Yeah, didn't win $1 million,
right,
but he won the 10-day Holland America Cruise Line cruise and round-trip airfare for 2 with tickets on U.S. Airways.
That
of course, is the airline sponsor out here.
Yeah, you're seeing the Fiesta Bowl committee members there. Obviously, representatives from the board of directors, the life directors, life members, ambassadors, the committee members. This is a group of dedicated business and civic leaders who work as the backbone of the Fiesta Bowl's fundraising efforts and provide all the leadership for the annual events that you see. And look what's coming up next.
And they're also riding on some of these trucks that are part of the Hall of Flame Museum. Really unique opportunity to see something special here in Arizona. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's located in Southeast Phoenix. It's the world's largest firefighting museum with more than 110 pieces of fire apparatus and memorabilia. It's always fascinating to walk in there and just to see how they used to do things. So they used to literally draw them on horse-drawn carriages at some point, then they used the motorized vehicles there. But it's just amazing. They keep all of them running, and it's a great place to visit, especially if you're into the nostalgia and the history of this event.
Yeah, and a great place to take the kids as well. As you mentioned, just incredible to see how much progress they've made through the years. And
some of the other folks we want to mention here, Amy Ashbaugh, who's the Ambassador of the Year, joined by your sister Stephanie and niece Amanda Herman. Amy was involved with the Fiesta Bowl because of her love of college football and the amazing people who work with the organization there. Favorite event to volunteer, of course, the Wells Fargo Fiesta Bowl Hole-in-One Golf Tournament, which is held every fall.
And these ambassadors, you know, as we mentioned, are so dedicated through the Fiesta Bowl and their experience and the hospitality of it all, really getting to let Arizona shine and show what a great state we are and how much we have to offer.
Yeah, it's been an amazing experience for so many people who come out here. And we got quite a turnout here as well in the grandstands. And you got to go all the way up and down Central Avenue here and just see people 3 or 4 deep bringing their kids out here. Some of them have been out here since early in the morning trying to grab a great spot. Some of the folks, of course, in the grandstand, some of the VIPs, family members of some of the Fiesta Bowl committee as well who get a chance to see this. But people turn out year after year for this, and certainly you couldn't ask for better weather.
Yeah, it's been just so nice. As I mentioned, this whole week has just been incredible weather throughout the valley.
And of course, you see the Ford Mustang there for the official vehicle sponsor of the Fiesta Bowl. These are some of the Fiesta Bowl ambassadors that we mentioned, and they just help people out. They're there to answer any questions you have and really help people navigate their ways through the 40 different events that are associated with the Fiesta Bowl each and every year.
We want to highlight a band who has traveled far to be a part of today's event. The Woodland Hills High School Band has come in from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. More than 2,000 miles they traveled to be a part of this. The parade program selection that they've chosen for you today: Grand Old Flag and Thriller. The band director is Thomas G. Crone, and the band assistant directors Kevin Shaw, Terry Zollner, and Brian Hopkins, along with the drum majors Christina Lewis. They're in their 5th Fiesta Bowl parade since 1995. Woodland Hills Marching Bands and Images Visual Ensemble draws members from 3 different schools within their district. So these are students from 8th grade all the way up to 12th, and they practice and participate in the band after school and are among the top performing art talents in Western Pennsylvania. If you'd like to talk with them or cheer them on Twitter, they are at the handle WH_marching band. Let's listen in.
And coming up next, the two Tostitos Fiesta Bowl teams. Of course, the Baylor Bears and the UCF Knights. For 19 years, Tostitos has been the title sponsor of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. And for 19 years, it's been the best party in college football. Grab your friends, grab some Tostitos, and bring the party. This year's matchup between the Baylor Bears and UCF Knights, as we mentioned, game time scheduled for 6:30, January 1st, University of Phoenix Stadium. And tickets still available. You can go to tickets.fiestabowl.org.
And you see dancing behind them there the giant Tostitos chip bag, fajita scoops, and also the Tostitos chip bag cantina. So great highlight of the parade out here. And also, as we've mentioned, so many bags of chips given out over the big party this week.
They actually are using the opportunity to introduce some new flavors of Tostitos. They've got so many different flavors at this point. So, again, great promotion for them and great snacking opportunity for everybody along the parade route as well.
Great way to ring in the new year. Little salsa and chips.
Yeah, going to have to start working out, I think, afterward. A lot of people have that New Year's resolution to get going and get back on the exercise. But for now, it's time to just relax, enjoy a little holiday food, time with friends and family. A great time of year to do all of that.
We're getting ready to check in with ABC 15's Amber Sullins, who's always busy wearing her tennis shoes on this day, running along the parade route as it makes its way downtown. She's always getting the best interviews as well. And by the way, if you're wanting to chat with us, we have several ABC 15 representatives online, on Twitter, talking about the Fiesta Bowl Parade as well. Join us on there. Tell us what you're loving by using the hashtag Fiesta parade. This online conversation going on all throughout the parade this afternoon.
Amber, you out there?
Hi, Steve and Katie. I'm here with Governor Jan Brewer, who always is out here at the Fiesta Bowl parade with us. And Governor Brewer, what's your favorite part about this parade?
Oh, I think all the people that come down with their children and enjoy the day. And haven't we had a great day so far with the weather? I mean, this is Arizona at its best.
It's perfect, right? All the visitors from the teams playing in the Fiesta Bowl, they're not going to want to leave.
They're not going to leave. They're going to stay here and they're going to keep coming back to visit us.
Perfect. So you're coming up on your last year in office. Do you have any big plans for the state this year?
Actually, I haven't decided whether I'm going to run or not. So, I'm going to make that decision in February. But it's a great state. I love it with all my heart. And if I run, I expect to win. And if I don't, I will find another challenge to keep me busy.
What's been your favorite part of being the governor here in Arizona?
I think meeting all the people and doing the right thing for the state of Arizona, bringing it back. And it was difficult times, but it's been a big challenge, but much rewarding to me, very rewarding to me.
And of course, all our cities here are so gorgeous, but if you had to pick a favorite, what would be your favorite place? The one place you would tell visitors, you cannot come to Arizona without seeing this.
That's not fair. We have so many beautiful cities and sites. It's just, they just need to come and spend a week and see it all, see it all.
All right, great answer. I love it. Happy New Year. Steve, Katie, back to you.
Is that like picking your favorite kid? That's kind of hard.
Yeah,
Picking
and there
your
are so
favorite
many
Arizona
wonderful
city.
places, from the Grand Canyon through Sedona, up down all the way through Tucson. There's so many different landscapes to see in Arizona. You can't ask the governor to pick a favorite, certainly.
All right, up next in the parade is the Fort McDowell Veterans Association Elders.
Everybody in this group has really proudly served their country. Fort McDowell Veterans Association Elders, including Frank Martinez, who served in the United States Army in the Vietnam War. He's a current member of both the Helicopter Crew Association and Fort McDowell Veterans Association. We've got Janice Martinez, who's the wife of Frank Martinez and president of the Fort McDowell Ladies Auxiliary.
Also, Colleen Stacy, veteran of the United States Army and current member of the Fort McDowell Veterans Association Executive Committee, and Harry Walker, who served with the 82nd Airborne Division in the United States Army. He's a Korean War veteran and a member of the Fort McDowell Veterans Association. So we welcome them all to the parade today.
Yeah, certainly they are one of the reasons that we can all be here. They have sacrificed and spent so much time serving in various conflicts and overseas, just protecting us and protecting the freedoms that so many of us often take for granted when we enjoy the holidays with our family. But these men and women certainly know what it's like to sacrifice for their country.
The Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation has just a beautiful showcase today, a tribute to living on the land, in the land, and of the land of Fort McDowell. A small sampling of the plants and animals native to the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, as well as the picturesque mountains and dynamic desert floor that make up the Fort McDowell Yavapai's exquisite homeland. The Yavapai people have long respected this delicate balance between man, the land, and all the creatures, believing that the Creator binds us all, and to honor all with whom we share the earth. That's four-legged, two-legged, the winged ones, swimmers, crawlers, plants, and rock people.
The float also brings out the character of every animal represented in a playful way, similar to the stories the Yavapai children hear growing up of the trickster coyote, lucky roadrunner, the raucous rabbit, and the ever majestic eagle. It's beautiful country up there. Head up Highway 87 and check it out for yourself.
Okay, let's check out the K-State University Marching Band representing the Big 12. The K-State University Marching Band began in 1887. They're known as the pride of Wildcat Land. They're just starting, so let's listen in. are getting the feel at home that this is a massive band, your television is not distorting things. This is a 350-plus member band spreading the purple spirit to all Wildcat fans, and they have a huge day ahead. Kickoff is set for 8:15 Mountain Standard Time against the University of Michigan Wolverines. You can find them online to talk to them about their performance today at K-State on Twitter.
Yeah, talk about a team that travels well. You see a lot of K-State fans out there right now, but coming up just behind them, the APS Volunteer Clown Troupe. It's a merry bunch of clowns, all volunteers, spending their time traveling the state of Arizona, bringing smiles and laughter to just about any event. Walter is the world's largest Volkswagen bus. You see him right there. Started his life as an airport fire truck, believe it or not. Began that service in 1963 right at Luke Air Force Base in the Valley. And Walter leads a group of local mutant vehicles that can do anything from shoot fire to host an entire concert with light and sound. You can learn more at facebook.com/WalterTheBus for details. And it's great to see so many of these folks who take part not only in their community, but representing their company as well, and going out into the community and just spreading some good cheer and volunteering for so many needy efforts in our valley.
Yeah, and this is something that, you know, at home may have felt smaller. That is a huge bus that's just gone by. Let's move on to the Wells Fargo Stagecoach, a living symbol of the American spirit. Merchants John Smith and Charles Stearns opened the first Wells Fargo office right here in Phoenix back in 1877.
Yeah, one of the oldest companies in Phoenix, and of course a rich tradition with the Pony Express, and really one of the first businesses here long before Arizona was even a state.
Speaking of first, some of the first few horses you've seen along today's parade route, but there will be about 130 horses walking in today's parade, so keep your eyes out for them.
Let's head on to the Folklorico Lindo y Querido, the group dedicated to teaching culture and keeping kids off the street. Folklorico Lindo y Querido means beautiful in Spanish. This year's performance is dedicated to the 19 who fell in the Yarnell Hill fire. So great to see so many different cultures and really reflecting the diversity of our community out here as well. So many different groups represented, young and old, volunteer groups, people really celebrating their heritage from Native American to Mexican American and everywhere in between.
Yeah, the dress is just so beautiful as well. You're seeing the Fort McDowell Fire Department there from above, and the Tribal Nations response team as well. And what you also hear is all the applause from the stands as they march by. The Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation Fire Department has proudly served the nation's members since 2000. The Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation Fire Department and Tribal Nations response team want all of you to enjoy a safe and sober holiday season, and they encourage you to say no to drugs. And you're seeing just beautiful smiles on their faces as they march up to the huge response coming from the crowd here right now.
A special applause for those guys, because whenever you see somebody in those types of firefighting outfits especially, you're reminded of the sacrifice that they make, something that we were all reminded of course, on June 30th of this year. Let's move on now to the Fort McDowell Cradle Baby. Check this out, big balloon. It's coming to us from the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation. The smiling child helping us celebrate the spirit of the Southwest. She's floating about 20 feet above the street. Quite a few handlers as well, keeping it in check. Good news here, of course, is we've got quite a few balloons in the parade today, and the weather relatively calm, because those can be kind of tough to handle, as we've seen with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. It's good to know that there's not too much work for them today.
Exactly. 18 balloons in total along the parade route today, as well as 9 floats taking part as well. Grand Canyon University is coming up next. It's their 5th consecutive year participating in the Fiesta Bowl Parade. We welcome them as well. The GCU is celebrating their move to D1 athletics this year. Made huge headlines their inaugural season in the Western Athletic Conference. GCU's float theme this year, Double Trouble in the Southwest. It represents the friendly competition between GCU's mascot Thunder the Antelope and the new head basketball coach Thunder, Dan Marley.
Yeah, just getting started in the Western Athletic Conference, and a lot of folks looking forward to that big move. It is a big move to move up to Division I basketball and be competing in Division I athletics, but you can see from the spirit of these folks that they are ready.
Tickets are pretty reasonable, too. Just $5 is where they start. You can find out a lot more information as well on their website, which is gcu.edu/Thunder Tickets. All the information's there. It's just a whole new ball game out there, so a lot of fun to go check out.
And let's listen in. The POW-MIA-KIA Honor Guard, formed under the command of David Carrasco in 2008. The group consists of former Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps members. They've chosen Honor Guard to post the colors for the official dedication of the new USS Arizona Memorial that took place, of course, on December 7th of this year, honoring those who have served and sacrificed, and of course those that we lost on the Arizona during the Pearl Harbor attack.
You know, earlier we had asked the governor what city was her favorite city in Arizona. A tough question to answer as governor, perhaps a little bit easier to answer when you're the mayor of Phoenix. Your answer is probably Phoenix. So let's go downstairs and check in with Amber Sullins now, who is catching up with Mayor Greg Stanton. Amber?
Yeah, I'm here with the mayor. He found the rowdiest group over here to go give high fives to. They're loving this parade, and you grew up here. You were a kid right on these streets in Phoenix. How does it feel to now be basically in charge of the city that you love?
Well, first off, this is a great tradition of the city of Phoenix. I grew up here in the city of Phoenix. I actually volunteered at many Fiesta Bowls growing up. It's a great, great Phoenix tradition. It brings everyone together. This parade, a perfect day. The country is watching us. They say it's a great community that comes together to put on spectacular events like this. And of course, people are excited. How could you not be excited on a great event like this? Thanks for covering it, Channel 15.
Oh, yeah. We absolutely love it. I have memories of this parade, too. What is your fondest?
What's my fondest memory of this parade?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, just sitting in the stands with my family, eating chips, and just cheering on those great bands. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. So who are you rooting for in the Fiesta Bowl this year?
Oh, let's see. How about a great game? Yeah, no particular rooting interest. Two great teams, and of course in a couple years we'll be hosting the national championship right here in Phoenix. Super exciting.
So what are the preparations for that?
Massive. We're going to throw the best party that we can to make sure that we show the world that Phoenix, Arizona, our region, can host Super Bowls, national championship games. The top events that the world has to offer can happen right here in our community. We're great, great hosts.
Love it. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.
Amber's putting these politicians on the spot today, asking them to pick their favorites when they probably don't want to choose. Certainly not in either one of these games, because you see so many of the fans, of course, from both places. And, of course, as well, so many people who have moved here from other parts of the country who are, of course, fans of some of these games. They get to go to the game right in their own backyard.
Oh, and it's just been so nice, as we mentioned, too, and welcoming for those along the parade route to sit and enjoy it, and also those marching in it. As we told you earlier, 3,600 steps to take part in this. So folks really have to get ready, carrying the tuba, or as you saw a little bit earlier, carrying the cheerleaders along the parade route.
Indeed. And if you want to join in on all of the experience, you can go on to social media right now. You can use hashtag Fiesta Parade on Twitter. And, of course, we want to take you back out to the parade route. Next up, of course, the Fort McDowell Adventures 2013 Tribal Royalty. They're all part, of course, this traditional hay wagon that's a glimpse into the unforgettable experience of Fort McDowell's 24,000 acres of pristine Sonoran desert lands provided by Fort McDowell Adventures. And riding on the hay wagon are the 2013-14 Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation tribal royalty. That includes Miss Fort McDowell, Junior Miss Fort McDowell, the Fort McDowell Veterans Princess, visiting Arizona tribal royalty. All of these women, of course, regally represent the finest of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation and their tribal youth leadership, and they're selected based on their knowledge of traditional values, their academic achievements, and moral character to serve as models for all of the youth of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation.
One of the beautiful 18 balloons in the parade, you see it coming now, the Fort McDowell Traditional Doll. This traditional doll balloon comes to us from the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, and this little girl smiling down on everyone along the 2-mile parade route. She is, for those of you at home, 18 feet tall and has 16 handlers that help her move there along the parade route down Central Avenue.
Just a beautiful sight for all of the little kids out there. I mean, when you're a little guy, 18 feet looks huge. Looks like the biggest thing you've ever seen. And right behind him, we've got the Fiesta Classics Car Club. They're a car club with vehicles ranging from the years 1936 to 1954. For trucks, they go all the way up to 1959. They're a community-oriented club. They have various events throughout the year. A lot of charity drives and community parades as well. All these cars have been built and, lovingly restored by the members themselves. It always amazes me to see that some of these cars, that somebody found this somewhere behind a barn and it was covered with rust, and they spend months and years sometimes putting it all back into its original order. They look for parts all over the country and in some cases modify it, but it's always a great show and a great look into the past, especially for the little guys.
And there are so many great car shows all across town. If you're interested in cars at all, or just like looking back at some of the fun distinct models out there, hundreds of car shows throughout the year. A lot of people even still gather over at the pavilions in Scottsdale on the weekend to see some of those cars, and it's neat because it's fun for the folks who have fond memories of these cars, and also the young kids who are just seeing them for the first time and just experiencing some of the great colors and the great design and the neat tricked out things like this car. You saw it bouncing around before. It's just fun for the kids to see. There it goes. And you hear the cheers.
Yeah, hard to imagine what it must be like to tool down the parade route in some of these beautiful vehicles. But thanks to those ladies and gentlemen from the Fiesta Classics Car Club for bringing them out today. Vintage Rolls Royce you see right there. Just amazing. He's got the parade vehicle pass. I'm thinking he probably doesn't need that, though.
Yeah, we know where you're headed.
Yeah, if you show up in a car like that, they know where you're going.
Yeah, it's too cool to see some of the cars around town before and after the parade. You know exactly where they're going. Let's take you to Yuma now, but courtesy of right here in Central Avenue, Copa High School, the King's Regiment Marching Band. The parade program selection here we're going to listen into in just a moment, but first the band director, Dan Schwiechler, and the band assistant director, Josh Colson, drum majors, Elsa Madrid and Hector Sainz. You see they're wearing that brilliant crimson and white. The King's Regiment Marching Band prides themselves on their band motto, which is create the tradition, strive for excellence. Let's listen in. Big Red has joined the parade route, doing a handstand while walking along Central.
Of course, a lot of folks have the game on their mind as well. There's Baxter from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's apparently commandeered Amber's microphone, and of course the Phoenix Suns gorilla as well. Lots of our sports teams, of course, represented out here. A lot of people thinking about the game tomorrow against the 49ers. You never know what's going to show up when you're out there on the parade route as well. Let's take you out to the next float now that is from Playworks. It's a float built by the Pride Group.
First, Baxter's getting a little wild there in the stands.
Yeah, you don't want to work with kids, animals, or sports mascots.
All right, no
I think.
control.
Yeah,
Lose control of the broadcast.
They are going to take over no matter what with the way they just relate to people. It's wonderful to see. There's Sparky, of course, as well. ASU doing very well in football this year, playing in a bowl game, and took it all the way to the Pac-12 championship game, so good for them.
Yeah, it's been so much fun this year. And we take you down to the parade chairman now, Jay Spector, with his wife Bethany and son Micah and their daughter Jordan there waving to the crowd. He joined the Fiesta Bowl in 2011 and has volunteered for Wells Fargo $1 Million Hole-in-One, the hospitality, and the chair of the 2013 parade. So we appreciate all of his efforts this year as well.
And let's take a look at the Arabian Horse Association of America coming on down the way now. They're presented in their traditional Arabian native costumes. They carry their ancestry of great versatility and stamina. Arabians are champion performers in virtually every type of riding competition: English, Western, trail, dressage, endurance, and reining competition. Some beautiful horses here coming down, and you can just see how majestic they are, how they really carry themselves on down the parade route.
And they just sparkle in the light of the sun here as well. We have our guests of honor, our grand marshals of the parade now, the families of the 19 fallen Granite Mountain hotshots. And this year's grand marshals we're joined by the 20th member, Brendan McDonough. The 19 fallen Yarnell Hill firefighters were members of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, as you know, who we lost on June 30th while battling that 8,400 acre fire that ignited just south of Prescott.
And we had a chance earlier to speak with Brendan McDonough just about what this parade means to him, what it means, all of the honors and accolades that they have gotten from the community. Let's listen in.
As months go by and days go by, I still feel the same amount of support as I did as, that night coming home on June 30th. So truly blessed to be able to be here and just seeing so many people trying to make us happy and help us out. It's fantastic.
Support for the firefighters' families. And if you'd like to make a contribution, you can visit www.PrescottFFCharities.org. That's PrescottFFCharities.org. So many of these, the widows of many of these guys, their girlfriends. We've had a couple of babies born since the Yarnell fire. They're moving on and trying to support their families, and it's good to know they're getting so much support from the rest of the community.
You're seeing the people in the stands rise to their feet as their car passes as well to show their support. And they were chosen because we just want to remind them that their husbands, their fathers, their sons, their brothers are Arizona heroes, and they really just will not be forgotten.
All up and down the parade route, too, you're seeing a lot of people wearing the Yarnell 19 pins, these pins that we have on here today as well, with many of our ABC 15 crew. Many folks just want to find some way to pay tribute and to let them know that even 6 months after this tragedy, and of course for years afterward, we're not going to forget about them. We're going to support them no matter what we have to do to make sure that their service and sacrifice is always remembered and always counted as part of our community.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see everyone rise to their feet. Let's take you to the Navajo Nation Band, who we hear approaching and now we see approaching as well. Their parade program selection, Main Street America. Their band director, Darwin D. Jackson, and their drum majors, Laura Begay and Gary Tolstoy. The Navajo Nation Band, is a traditional military-style band. They're complete with banner carriers and color guards and the twirlers who you saw, and also Miss Navajo Nation, Miss Natasha Hardy.
You can see many of the traditional colors reflected here in the Navajo Nation Band as well. 4 sacred colors of the Navajo culture, east being white, noticeable with the pants there, south being turquoise, west being yellow, and then north being black with the shirt tops that you see there. 4 sacred colors as part of the Navajo Nation.
High in the sky and spinning behind them there, at least 10 years now in the Fiesta Bull Parade, the U.S. Airways balloon serving more than 230 communities in the U.S. and Canada, Europe, the Caribbean, Latin America. U.S. Airways is proud to once again be the official airline sponsor of the Fort McDowell Fiesta Bull Parade. Leading the way are crew members of the DO Crew, U.S. Airways Corps of 3,500 employee volunteers. And flying above the sky, that plane has a name. It's Dewey, the DO Crew balloon. The DO Crew has invested more than 25,000 hours of volunteering for nonprofit organizations in our community just this year. U.S. Airways' commitment and passion for making a difference is never too far from the ground, no matter how high they fly. Give them a shout out if you like online right now on Twitter at U.S. Airways.
Well, I think Baxter from the Diamondbacks has given Amber her microphone back.
Just
She's
now.
Out there talking with some of the folks in the crowd. Got to be a great show for them, Amber.
Oh my gosh, they're loving it. And right now, right in front of their faces, are all their favorite superheroes. So George here is totally stoked. George, who's your favorite?
Iron Man.
Iron Man. All right, I saw Spider-Man too. That guy is Thor. Yeah. All right, you guys, who's your favorite? Okay.
My favorite is the K-State band.
Okay, right.
My favorite,
Oh, the Avengers are here. You guys, this is too much fun. I'm going to do the high five line too. Are you ready? Woo! You guys were having a blast. I'm running into superheroes. Back to you.
Yeah, our thanks to the Justice League of Arizona, by the way, and the Arizona Avengers. The guys in the costumes today, they go all over the community volunteering for various organizations and bringing a little cheer to the kids. Good to see your favorite superhero walking down the street.
Yes, protecting us as well. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
And welcome back to the 43rd Annual Fiesta Bowl Parade right here along Central Avenue. I'm Steve Irvin.
And I'm Katie Rammel. We hope you are enjoying this wonderful morning and this celebration of the great state of Arizona.
We've just watched the folks from the Sun City Palms go past us now, but we want to take you out to another one of the huge balloons that's making its way down Central Avenue right now. This is from Donate Life Arizona, and it's Reggie the Donor Cactus. 4 years now in the Fiesta Bowl Parade, and Donate Life Arizona saves and heals through organ and tissue donation. Accompanying Reggie the Donor Cactus are transplant recipients and families of those who've saved and healed lives through the donation, and dancers from the Dance Motion Performing Company as well. You can join the countdown to save lives and ring in the new year with hope and generosity by visiting donatelifeaz.org to register today. And you know, the folks from Donate Life have really helped raise awareness for a lot of people just to get registered and be a part of that, because so many lives can be saved if people are just a part of that organ donor registry.
Saved and changed forever. The Notre Dame High School, Sherman Oaks, California Irish Night Band is up next. Their parade program selection for you. March the Southerner. And also Word Up, the band director, John Combs, the band assistant directors, David Borok and Matthew Pagnotta. Drum major Joe Gordon is leading the group. The marching band at Notre Dame High School is an activity made up of students from all of the musical ensembles. The Irish Night Band has not missed a regular season Notre Dame football game since 1967. Look at that plume there, beautiful. This is the 5th year the band's been performing in the Fiesta Bowl Parade. Just some regal costumes there.
And let's listen in. Well, we had your superheroes, we had your comic book heroes, and now we have your heroes from the big screen, that is. That's the Dune Sea Garrison, Arizona Star Wars, and the Arizona chapter of the International Star Wars Costuming Club, known as the 501st Legion, by the way. They contribute to the local community through costume charity and volunteer work. And the group builds and uses these Star Wars-related costumes for children's hospitals, walks, and other various charities. You know, it's a great thrill for all the kids to see the guys in costume coming right down Central Avenue here.
You hear the cheer from the crowd as well.
I know. I don't know how I'd react to Darth Vader making his way right down Central Avenue here, but you know, it's a thrill for all of the kids to see these very realistic looking costumes. They spend hours and hours putting these things together, and they really do spread a lot of cheer for kids in the community, because so many of them get a chance to see all of these movies that they love so much come to life.
Yeah, it's that moment of whoa when they walk in, and you can imagine how warm they are in their costumes today walking the 2-mile parade route. You know, whether it's the Fiesta Bowl or Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl or really any of the sporting events here in our state, our ABC 15 sports team is on top of all of the action, and boy, are they busy.
Let's send it out to Amber Sullins, who's with Paul Calvisi. We got to talk a little football here, Amber.
Oh, yeah, it's such a huge football week here in the Valley. Paul Calvisi is here with me. Paul, we got the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl tonight.
Yes.
Weather's going to be great.
Yep.
Who has the advantage here tonight?
Well, based on all the fans out here, right? It looks like K-State. You know, it looks like based on what I'm seeing out here on that. Although the Michigan band is behind us, and they're playing it up big.
Yeah,
Dee Baxter is somewhere here stirring it up. And then we got these crazy guys on the bicycles. So, I mean, it's absolutely off the hook. I've been practicing the whole parade wave thing. I don't know if I quite got it down just yet, you know. But no, it's great time of year. All right, the holiday season and the bowl season, you can't beat it. People love to enjoy themselves. They worked hard all year. And then you get the bowl season as a reward, you know?
On top of that, we have the 49ers taking on the Cardinals here on Sunday. The 49ers came back last week. That win was incredible.
Yes.
And so they are on a high this week. They're going to be coming in going, woo! What are our chances?
You know, incredible is one word, crushing is the other word, because they won. So now you need Tampa to go into New Orleans to beat the Saints, and then the Cardinals need to win. You could end up with 11 wins, Amber, and still miss the playoffs. But we're hoping, just hoping, 10 years ago, the improbable happened when the Cardinals knocked the Vikings out. Maybe the Buccaneers knock out the Saints. Cardinals win tomorrow. I think they're going to do the Niners what they just did to the Seahawks and return the favor after the loss in the first game of the season. So we'll see. We got it all covered on ABC 15 Sports Sunday, 10:35 tomorrow night. Craig Fouie's in San Diego covering ASU, and then boom, we'll have your Cardinals coverage.
All right, perfect. Enjoy the parade with your beautiful family, Paul. All right,
Yeah.
see Katie, back to you.
They're having fun, that's for sure. And circling behind them there, we were worried they were going to tipsy-turv over the Arizona High Bike Riders group. 15 riders on these modified cycles, including high bikes, one bicycle, placed atop a second bicycle. They are just incredible. Their mechanic innovation to make as many different kinds of bikes as possible along the parade route today.
Yeah, some of them are kind of two bikes in one. You can see them circling through there, and just imagine the work and effort that's gone into putting these things together. But you got to love it for the kids, you know. The worst thing as a parent, I think, is your kid sees this in the parade, and then they go, Dad, I want one of those. How do I get a hold of one of those? And Dad needs to learn to weld, I think.
You need a ladder to climb all the way up on some of them. Too much fun to see.
Coming up right behind him, the Fort McDowell Casino News Chopper reporter Bruce Hafner, known as Chopper Guy. It's a beautiful state-of-the-art television helicopter that goes more than 120 miles per hour, shoots TV news in high def, and award-winning photographer, pilot, and reporter Bruce Hafner, along with his flight crew, fly above the valley and all of Arizona in the Fort McDowell Casino News Chopper. We all know him well. Bruce Hafner, a part of the television community here in Arizona.
The Buffalo Wild Wings Team Up for Kids is right behind them. The Buffalo Wild Wings has a passion for sports and a commitment to giving back. You see them all over the valley. And their Team Up for Kids initiative is bringing sports into the lives of kids who really need it the most. Through their partnership with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and all the clubs across the country, receive all-star grants and jerseys and coaching support for flag and tackle football and their cheerleading programs as well. In 2013, they committed a minimum donation of $650,000 and supported 760 teams, which really helped out 6,500 kids. Buffalo Wild Wings' goal is to raise more than $1 million in 2014. They've already made their resolution there, and to help 10,000 kids through the All-Stars program. You can cheer them online as well at BW Wings.
Well, we saw the K-State marching band a little bit earlier. Not to be outdone, the University of Michigan marching band. Of course, hailing from the Big Ten, the Michigan band has thrilled thousands of fans with performances that have made this one of the great college bands in the country. A tradition going back more than 100 years, and it thrives today as the Michigan band continues its pursuit of the highest levels of visual and musical performance. Led by director John Pasquale, associate director Andrea Brown. The band is comprised of percussion, flag, twirler, brass, and woodwind sections. And of course, the band taking the field tonight at Sun Devil Stadium during halftime of the 25th annual Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl as their team takes on Kansas State. Let's listen in. Of course, playing the University of Michigan fight song you hear there. When you talk about the Big Ten, they do not mess around with their marching bands. Everybody knows the Ohio State marching band, the big Michigan rival there, University of Wisconsin band as well. So great to see those guys out here and in full force. I don't know, rivals the K-State band for sure, but I won't play favorites, just like the many politicians that we've talked to today so far.
You talked about their visual performance, and one of the things that's so noted, look at their shoes, the tops of their shoes. That the white on their shoes drawing your eye down to show you that they are all in step, that they are all in sync, that they are practiced and ready to go. It's just one more note of the visual performance that you spoke of earlier.
It's a grueling thing that they have to do, just walking 2 miles down this parade route. They're doing it in sync. They're doing it playing music at the same time. It is a workout.
It sure is. You know what? And in Arizona, if you grow up in an Arizona band, you're ready for it. When you come from another state, you're not so ready for that drip of sweat that goes from your plume right down to your chin strap. I mean, this is a workout throughout the parade route. Let's take it to the Fiesta Bowl mascot. It is Spirit arriving on the heels of the band there. Your host for all things Fiesta Bowl. You see the familiar symbol around town. The Fiesta Bowl's biggest fan and well-known representative, the only mascot in Fiesta Bowl history.
This is Jay Jennings. He's the Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and he's joined by daughters Allison and Lauren. He actually joined the Fiesta Bowl organization back in 1993, and he's chaired the parade, volunteered for media operations, HIO, and hospitality suites, and became a life member in 2005.
We want to take you to our Volunteer of the Year as well, who is up right behind him, and that is Krista Wood Tomlin. She is Volunteer of the Year, joined by her husband Jared. She was awarded for her hard work and dedication to the Media Operations Committee, and I just have to say on a personal note, I've known her since high school, love her dearly, and it is great to see Krista getting this award here in the parade.
Next up is Christopher Cruson, who's chair of the year, joined by wife Mandy and son Chase. Joined the Fiesta Bowl back in 2007. Been involved with the college football's biggest party, VIP hosting, practice facilities, and many other Fiesta Bowl events. These, of course, are the people that work behind the scenes. Maybe one of the few recognitions that they get publicly, at least, for all of the work that they do, work that goes on around the clock and all year long.
Yeah, and they really make it smooth for all of us to cover all of the events throughout the week as well. So a big thank you to all of them who help us through the week's process and the activities all throughout the year.
Jeff Goldner is up next. He's the member of the year, and he's joined by girlfriend Connie Garcia. Joined the Fiesta Bowl in 2005. He's volunteered for team arrivals, team liaisons, the Wells Fargo Fiesta Bowl hole-in-one, sales commissioner, and game operations as well.
Our rookie of the year is in the next car, and we will get to that in just a second. That is Nick Smith, who is joined by his daughters and his son out there. There they are. Joined by Amari and Amron and his son Trey. They joined the Fiesta Bowl in 2012. He's volunteered with Aerospace Challenge, parade practice facilities, media operations, and so much more. So we thank him for his work as well. And congratulations to Nick Smith, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, some great folks behind the scenes of the Fiesta Bowl to make it all happen and to generate all of that money for charitable donations in the Valley as well. We want to get to the Golden West Cowgirls Equestrian Drill Team coming up right behind them. They were formed back in 2007, performing difficult drill maneuvers which honor our country's military in a display of branch flags and a performance showcasing American spirit and some beautiful costumes and great adornments for the horses as well.
We were talking earlier about 130 horses walking today's parade route.
And great thanks to the volunteers who walk behind the horse teams as well, just to make sure that the parade route stays nice and clean for just about everybody. But great to see all of these horses out here, and such beautiful animals, and of course such a huge part of Arizona's tradition.
Yeah, we've been mentioning some of the places that you can get in touch and cheer them on along the parade route. You can find them on Twitter at JWC Drill, if you'd like to tell them what a beautiful job they're doing in today's parade.
So here's an interesting thing. Coming up next, the Arizona Milk Producers half-pint judges. They have actually ranked the parade floats at an exclusive event held yesterday. And when we say half pints, that's because they're kid judges. Isabel Allred of Chandler, Diego Aguirre of Phoenix, Katie Sucatos of Queen Creek, Nicholas Hernandez of Queen Creek as well. And in order to become a half pint judge, these kids, who were ages 8 to 11, had to enter a contest and submit a paragraph about why they love milk. The Arizona Milk Producers have been a partner with the Fiesta Bowl going back 35 years now. And in addition to the half pints, the Milk Producers offer generous scholarships to Arizona college students. The top 15 finalists in the weekly Is Your Stash Worth the Cash contest won Tostitos Fiesta Bowl tickets. The top 3 winners announced in the field win either an $8,000, $10,000, or $12,000 scholarship.
Yeah, these were some of the biggest scholarships offered when I was in high school here, so that's how long they've been around. At that time, you wrote an essay to get involved in the scholarship and to be awarded that money for college as well. Behind it, you see the Arizona Milk Producers Milk Jug. 16 years in the Fiesta Bowl parade. We kind of figured this out. Kids plus milk plus parades, a pretty perfect combination for a really healthy, good time out here today.
And what would the parade be without marching bands of all shapes and sizes? We've seen the college, we've seen the high school marching bands. How about an elementary school marching band all the way from San Luis, Arizona? This is the Gadsden Elementary Marching Band, and they are going to be performing in The Stone by Earth, Wind & Fire, Vehicle by Ides of March, Treasures by Bruno Mars, Gonna Fly Now by Bill Conti, and many others. Let's listen in. Right behind them, we see the Fiesta Bowl Queen and Court, and they are presented by Dillard's in a scholarship opportunity of a lifetime. You know, every fall, young women from across Arizona vie for the opportunity to serve as Fiesta Bowl Court members who act as official spokespersons for the Fiesta Bowl. Hair and makeup provided by Salon Surreal, dresses by Escape, and shoes from Jessica Simpson.
The 2013-2014 Fiesta Bowl Queen is Allison Schnepp, senior at the University of Arizona Honors College. She's majoring in political science, philosophy, economics, and law. The other Fiesta Bowl Court members you see there, Lucette Ruiz Ibarra. She's a senior at the University of Arizona who's majoring in psychology as well and plans to attend dental school. Hannah Keogh, senior at the University of Arizona, who's majoring in business marketing and minoring in Spanish, and also Rebecca Durazo, senior at the University of Arizona, who's majoring in accounting. The Queen and Court float is decorated by Brady's Floral Gallery.
We see right behind them the marching gnomes from the Arizona Conservatory for Arts and Academics. And right behind them, the Phoenix International Raceway Pace Car. It's going to be big at PIR in 2014. They're celebrating 50 years of racing in the Valley. PIR brings NASCAR to Phoenix twice a year, and if you haven't been there, this is a year you can't miss. First event of 2014 follows right after the Daytona 500, February 27th, that is, to March 2nd. 3 series of NASCAR race action. PIR opened back in 1964 as the Jewel of the Desert, hosting a variety of open wheel and stock car racing. With the debut of NASCAR in 1983, PIR has become a driver and fan favorite with its unique formation and scenic setting.
And you're seeing a familiar face there. It's Sheriff Joe Arpaio with his wife Ava, who are along the parade route this afternoon.
Of course, he's known internationally as America's toughest sheriff. More than 50 years now in law enforcement, one of the most popular figures here in town, leading a staff of nearly 4,000 dedicated deputies, detention officers, and civilian employees as well. And of course, with the love of his life, his wife of more than 40 years, Ava.
We want to take you to the mountain men who represent the town of Williams and the state of Arizona. Look at that. Recognized throughout the country for preserving the heritage of the early mountain trappers. And they've participated in 5 presidential inaugural parades out in D.C. and they are listed as a local legacy by the Library of Congress. A warm welcome to Bill Williams Mountain Men.
No chance of them being cold on a chilly morning
all.
out here with all that they have there. But you got to love the outfits and you got to love the tradition that they carry on here in Arizona. Right behind them, we've got the Arizona Education Foundation Teacher of the Year and finalists. And our thanks go out to, of course, every teacher that puts in so much time and effort to make sure that our kids get a good education. This all began back in 1983. They selected the Teacher of the Year from scores of applicants throughout the state, and the foundation honors 9 additional teachers representing excellence in the teaching profession. The 2014 AEF Arizona Teacher of the Year is Beth Maloney. She's a 5th grade teacher at Sunset Hills Elementary School in Surprise. It's in the Dysart Unified School District. And the 4 ambassadors include Dana Burke, who's a 1st grade teacher at Sahuarita Primary School. Tara Dale is 7th grade general science teacher at Acamol Ayal Middle School. Tabitha Fincham, who's a 4th grade teacher at Centennial Elementary School. Jonathan Parker, who teaches the 11th grade. And he's a U.S. history teacher at Thunderbird High School.
Our teachers just can't be recognized enough, that's for sure. It's so great to see this sort of reception for them as well.
And coming up right behind them, that's the Grizzlies, the pride of Western Ohio. It's the Fruitland High School Marching Band, yes, all the way from Fruitland, Ohio. And they're going to be playing a parade selection that includes Anchors Away and possibly On Wisconsin as well. Let's listen in. 110 members strong, hailing from Fruitland, Ohio. They've been all over the place. They've performed in Idaho, Oregon, Nevada, California, even performing at the Special Olympics Winter Games in 2009 in Boise, Ohio. Coming up right behind them, the Fighter Country Partnership U.S. flag. This has been in the Fiesta Bowl Parade now going back 6 years. Fighter Country Partnership supports the men, women, families, and mission of Luke Air Force Base through programs and services geared toward health and human services, culture and tradition, and mission sustainability. The balloon handlers are the Blue Blazers Squadron with FCB, a group of honorary commander alumni supporting Luke Air Force Base's mission. Another one of the huge balloons that you see out here, and another salute to our fighting men and women, and so many of them trained, of course, in fighting military aircraft right out at Luke Air Force Base, which is truly a value to the community, and good to see that we're going to be training some of our newest pilots out there in the F-35, which is expected to be here just in a couple of months now.
Yeah, and you hear all the cheers coming from the crowd as well for this beautiful balloon and this entire group as they make their way down the parade route, giving waves to all of the spectators who have shown up to cheer them on today. A big thank you and a big welcome to Luke Air Force Base soldiers.
Yeah, and you see the folks all in the grandstands once again on their feet and applauding our nation's servicemen and women and our veterans. I think more than ever, perhaps, we have a genuine sense of appreciation for all of those who work in our armed services as well as protect our community as well. Amber Sellens along the parade route there. And Amber, who you got?
I have Smart Shopper Daphne Monroe. And you know, earlier, Daphne, we were talking to Paul Calvisi about how it's bowl season. But this is also kind of your bowl game over the last month or so with all the great deals.
Oh, yeah, especially with Black Friday. It was the most incredible Black Friday ever. But there are some great deals because, listen, the holidays are coming to an end. People are going to be returning things, so I guarantee you there are going to be a lot of deals to have.
And a lot of post-Christmas deals as we head into the new year.
Yes.
What's the number one thing people should watch out for, though, if they're looking to make returns?
Well, definitely you want to have your receipt. You also want to make sure that you understand the company's policy, what their return policy is, and the time frame. Because some of these things like electronics usually they put a restocking fee like 15% if you miss it after 30 days. So make sure you look that up right away. Go to the company's website and look it up before you know.
Yeah, and a little bit for you. Fiesta Bowl kind of is in your backyard, this parade, right? I mean, you are growing up here in Phoenix. What's been your favorite part about being a part of this parade?
Only 2 words. What an honor and a privilege it is.
It's great.
So that's all I can say.
And the weather, right? It's spectacular.
It's fantastic, and the people and the attitude and the energy is fantastic. So what an honor and a privilege it is to be in a parade. So
go have fun. Do your thing, girl. Katie, Steve, back to you.
Yeah, you talked about Daphne's season. It was a busy time, from Black Friday straight through to the holiday to, as you mentioned, now all the people out there shopping. The malls in the valley have been packed, not just with all the visitors from other states who are enjoying some of the fun here, but just all the people who stayed in town for the nice weather. You didn't have to leave.
Yeah, you don't want to go on vacation anywhere else this time of year. It's the best weather in the country, best place to be as well. You saw it behind Daphne right there, the Navajo County Hash Knife Sheriff's Posse, with the longest-running Pony Express sanctioned by the U.S. Postal Service. And this year is the group's 56th year delivering mail, making a trip each year from Holbrook all the way to Scottsdale. It's quite a ride. And carrying on a great tradition in the desert Southwest, the Pony Express. It was the fastest way to get word from one place to another long before the telegraph and long before trains or anything else. You sent a letter and a guy literally wrote it right across the country.
It's pretty incredible in this day and age to think back, especially when we're talking about all the ways we can communicate with you live right now, and including one of them right now on social media using the hashtag Fiesta Parade. We've been hearing from so many of you who are telling us what you love about this year's 43rd annual Fiesta Bowl Parade.
And make sure to check out the ABC 15 mobile app as well, where you're going to get some great tweet pictures and the latest word on all of the news of the day. Right behind the group here is the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps, and their objectives, they introduce to naval life in order to develop folks a sense of pride, patriotism, courage, and self-reliance, and they strive to maintain an environment free of drugs and gangs. And look at those cadets there, very disciplined, and great to see young people getting involved at such an early age in an organization that really helps provide some direction and discipline for them.
Yeah, and as you talked about, that self-reliance and courage and patriotism, just beautiful things to start building early and remembering all throughout life. Up next, Pickerington North High School. They come from Ohio. And the marching band is the Panthers. As we see, they're just coming up behind this here, but we wanted to show you the ship as well, making its way down the parade route. Just a beautiful float for today's event.
You know what's amazing about some of these folks who have traveled? You mentioned this marching band we're about to see here from Pickerington, Ohio. They have to raise all the money themselves to do it. They really have to work behind the scenes and work all year long to be a part of an event like this. They pay all of their own travel expenses and do everything that they can to make it a part of the experience. But it's a wonderful experience. You were in the marching band, Katie, I know for a while, and it's just a great experience to travel with a group of your friends and peers and to be able to go to places that you may have never seen before.
Yeah, it's exciting, and it teaches you so many different things about fundraising and about earning that money to be able to have some respect and some value for the dollar that you're using to go and then travel across the country. So it's a great thing all around.
Hey, appreciate the experience a lot more. There's the Pickering North Marching Band, and you can see all the way from Pickerington, Ohio. I think it's one of 18, if I'm not mistaken, 18 marching bands that are part of the Fiesta Bowl festivities this year, traveling from as far away as Pennsylvania, but we've got them from California, Georgia, Idaho, Minnesota as well. Some of them we've already seen. Let's listen in. Amazing, this band, just in its 11th season. Can you imagine 11 years ago someone started this essentially from scratch? 170 wind, percussion, and color guard students, and they're hoping to continue the tradition of excellence that has been the hallmark of band programs in Pickerington. The Pickerington Panthers. Say that 3 times fast.
Exactly.
All the way from Pickerington, Ohio.
We want to move on to the Arizona Twirling Athletes Show Corps. They're participating in the parade for the 33rd year. It includes the Phoenix Superstars. This is both regional and national twirling stars. And you'll see behind them here a 30-foot parade float that was designed and built by the twirling athletes and their families. So when they're not twirling, they're building, and boy, have they built a float.
All the practice and time that goes into this effort, all of the costumes as well. You really have an appreciation for what goes on behind the scenes when so many of these groups prepare just to take part in the Fiesta Bowl parade. Coming up right behind them, we've got the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport Amelia, the airplane. Before we get to that, though, let's listen in. Quite a float there, reflecting all of the Arizona traditions and some of the young part some of the young members, of course, the Arizona Twirling Athlete Show.
They got to have some energy to make it through the whole parade. It's wonderful to see. All right, the City of Phoenix Aviation Department is up next. That's Amelia, the airplane. Many years in the Fiesta Bowl Parade. Too many to even count. Phoenix Sky Harbor is America's friendliest airport. Many of you have used it several times. Even just this year, it offers convenient nonstop service to more than 100 domestic and international destinations. You can visit skyharbor.com for even more airport details or find them online at PHX Sky Harbor on Twitter. And you see that twirling plane in the sky.
We're going to have much more of the 43rd annual Fort McDowell Fiesta Bowl Parade coming up here on ABC 15 in just a bit. And welcome back to the 43rd Annual Fiesta Bowl Parade, sponsored by the folks at the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation. Great day to get so many people out here along Central Avenue.
Oh, it's just beautiful weather. We're so lucky, and the spectators have lined the streets, and we join back up at the parade with the Northwest Valley Firefighters Local 4361 Honor Guard. They consist of Daisy Mountain, El Mirage, and Surprise, and join together to honor both fallen and our active firefighters.
And coming up right behind them, a long-time Scottsdale tradition going back 61 years. It's the Parada del Sol Parade and Rodeo. It's the world's longest Western-themed parade. And once again, a 6-decade history here in Arizona. Hard to believe that. The parade is February 8th. The rodeo is February 27th and 28th, along with March 1st and 2nd. And this year, Parada will bring the Champion Challenge to Scottsdale, which will be Arizona's biggest one-day rodeo in history. Riding with Parada del Sol from Scottsdale is Brittany Truman, who's Miss Rodeo Arizona.
Yeah, it's a really fun parade as well if you haven't been over to it. Right down Scottsdale Road, and just a lot of fun. And you really don't grow up in an Arizona marching band somewhere without taking part in that parade as well. So it's too much fun. Make sure to mark that on your calendar.
One of the great Western traditions here in Arizona. Coming up right behind them, we've got the Commemorative Air Force Museum Arizona Wing. It's the Commemorative Air Force Aviation Museum that pursues its mission of education about military aviation and the role it has played in our history through the flight and exhibition of historic military aircraft.
Next, we have up the Arizona Ghostbusters. You see their fan club. You know what? They're bound together for their love of Ghostbusters and volunteering. The marching band from Desert Edge High School from Goodyear, Arizona is playing the Ghostbusters theme for this group today. But those two things always go together, Ghostbusters and volunteering. Baby, they're not too young to get involved. If you're interested in learning more about the AZ Ghostbusters, you can find them on Twitter. Their Twitter handle is @AZ_Ghostbusters.
Another one of the huge balloons making its way down the parade route, that is Lockman, representing LifeLock from Tempe, Arizona. They've been in the Fiesta Bowl Parade a couple of years now. Nationwide company providing identity theft protection services. The official LifeLock superhero Lockman protects members' personal information. And walking alongside Lockman is the award-winning member services team from LifeLock. If you'd like more information, visit lifelock.com.
They have some beautiful offices there right along Tempe Town Lake as well. The lunch break at the LifeLock office would be nice. You can sit outside and enjoy the water and the people having fun.
One of those fast-growing local companies, too, a lot like GoDaddy, that's really employing a lot of people, providing jobs right here in Arizona. Up next, the Mesa East Valley Institute of Technology, building the future one student at a time. EVIT is a career and technical school for teens and adults, offering occupational training in multimedia, fashion, design, culinary arts, welding, construction, nursing, cosmetology, and much more. Actually recognized by Time Magazine as Learning That Works. EVIT is the real prep school for college, career, and life.
Next up, the Chattahoochee High School Marching Theater. They're coming to us from Johns Creek, Georgia, as you see on their banner there today. Their parade program selection, a New Year's celebration. Their band directors and assistant marching band director here joining them today. Also their assistant directors, their drum majors are here. The whole group comprised of multiple performing ensembles. Their band program offers, everything. A marching band, percussion ensemble, symphony orchestra, the jazz band, the chamber ensembles. They have it all. The band members come from 17 different nationalities, and the group holds the highest GPA of any organization on campus. So despite all of the practicing and training, they still find time for their studies, and plenty of it.
Coming up right behind the Chattahoochee Band is the Tricked Out Trucks, presented by Connected Entertainment, showcasing some of Arizona's finest custom trucks in a wide range of styles, makes, and generations, giving back to the community through various shows and fundraisers since 2008. Today's special guest is Captain Ernie Lizarraga of the Phoenix Fire Department. Ernie's been a paramedic firefighter for 22 years, and of course, everybody knows Ernie's story at this point. Ernie was involved in a terrible accident, but his spirit was not wounded or damaged in any of that. So our hats off to Ernie and all of these members of the Tricked Out Trucks, and that is something to see.
That is so cool. I know some of the kids trying to get a closer peek at that one. Too neat.
It's important when you trick out a truck, I think, to have the proper horn.
That too.
You can't just leave the regular horn in there. You've got to have a horn that really gets people's attention, and this certainly does. It's also important to have a Chihuahua mascot, I think.
Yes, with a matching outfit. It should match your car.
Of course. Coming up right behind them, you're going to see some rather large lift trucks here in the back as well. So you've got trucks of every variety, all kinds of different generations going back decades in some cases. And it's just amazing to me the time and effort and the care that people put into tricking these out the way that they do. The paint jobs, the modifications to the trucks. I mean, it's hours and hours of work to get them like this.
Yeah, so many people do some of the work themselves as well, and just the hours of research to find the cool things and then to save up for them and then put them on your truck. I mean, it's just so neat to see, and it is truly a hobby and a sport at the same time as you hear some of these engines revving.
And you got to give some support to their families as well, who put up with a lot of the work in the garage there. Honey, I'm going to get the giant skull hubcap on there. Going to put it right on. But just amazing the work and time that goes into this. And you can see there the tribute to members of the Granite Mountain Hotshots, the Prescott firefighting team. Let's send it out to Amber Sullins now, who's along the parade route.
Talk to you a little bit. Okay. All right, we are out here with Joe Ducey, and I got to say, I just absolutely love working in the same building with you, because whenever I got a problem, I let Joe know.
And you do all the time. Amber's got all kinds of things going on at her house. Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great day. These are my kids I brought with me, Ben and Kate and Sam, and then there's one at home sleeping in.
Love it. Lovely family. And tell me about what are the things into the new year, maybe resolutions you're going to make. What are the number one things that you're looking out for in 2014?
Professionally, it'd have to be staying on top of my emails.
You get so many.
Yeah, I know.
So anybody who's ridden and didn't get a timely response, that's all going to change in 2014. We're going to be right there with it. But yeah, I think just healthy, be as happy as we can, live in the moment. Those are the important things.
And try to help people and stay out of trouble with all the problems they're having, right?
Exactly. How you liking this?
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I love the Fiesta Bowl Parade. There's no problems out here. No consumer alerts to tell you about.
I can't believe how great the weather is and how many people are here. This is, it's the first time we've been in it. It's wonderful.
So what's the email address, Joe, if people want to contact you if they're having problems?
That's a simple one. Joe at abc15.com. And we get right back.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Again, let Joe know if you have a problem. Have a great day, Joe. And back to you, Steve and Katie.
That's the crazy thing. A lot of people have let Joe know, but it's great to know that he's helped out so many folks. Of course, a lot of people remember the wedding video stories that he's been doing, and actually reuniting women and couples with their wedding videos and some of their most precious memories.
We want to get to the Wild Women of the West, established in 1973. Today's trail boss, Marie Pendergrast, also known as the original Pearl de Verre.
Gotta love the costumes, and you gotta love so many people out there trying to carry on the tradition of the Wild West here in Arizona. We had the big rivalry earlier this year between Cave Creek and Scottsdale, competing for who's the most western town in the West. And it was a spirited debate, and some people took it pretty darn seriously, too, because they take their traditions very seriously here. But it's good to know that people have a sense of a history for our state, especially for the little ones watching along the way who may ask a question or two about where we all came from.
It's so neat to see the people who have saved all of the costumes and added to them each year and then take part every single year. It's a fun tradition not only for them but for all of us to see as well.
The Wild Women of the West there, followed by the Mesa Caledonian Pipe Band. They are Arizona's premier bagpipe band, formed in 1980, and their mission to preserve Scottish culture through education and performance of traditional music. Let's listen in. Stoic all the way down the parade route, the Mesa Caledonian Pipe Band. And coming up right behind them, that is a giant green pig, and it is Ernest the Piggy Bank. He's been part of the Fiesta Bowl Parade now for 2 years, and part of First Credit Union as well. The first credit union in Arizona. As I mentioned, the second year of the parade. He sports sunglasses, flip-flops, and a cute "We Love Our Members" tattoo. First Credit Union has more than 40,000 members, 8 locations, and they provide a trusted solution since 1929.
Let's take you to Richfield, Ohio, right here along Central Avenue. The Revere High School Marching Band joins us now. Their selection for you today, How to Survive a Zombie Apocalypse. Also, Land of the Thousand Dances. Their band director, Darren LeBeau, joins them, and also their band assistant director, Debbie DeVore. Their drum majors here today. They're displaying their school colors of red, white, and blue. Let's listen in to the Revere Minutemen. By the way, I know so many of you love the 1983 movie A Christmas Story, and a little fun fact for you here. This band, the marching band, in the parade sequence of that movie was the Revere Minutemen, who you're seeing here. So a long, fun tradition there, a little fun fact to share with your friends.
This one of my favorite parts of the parade because I grew up in Wisconsin, and of course Culver's ice cream sundaes and frozen custard, all part of a great Wisconsin tradition that has now become an Arizona tradition as well. You know, Culver's restaurants earn their deliciousness reputation by cooking every butter burger to order and crafting every batch of fresh frozen custard throughout the day right in the restaurant. They use delicious, wholesome ingredients and handcraft every meal without compromising quality or flavor. One taste and you will understand Culver's.
Steve, they're handing something out along the parade route. I don't think it's free samples. Don't run away yet.
It would be awfully nice, though, to have a little frozen custard as a refreshment after. Have you ever had some frozen custard?
Oh, yeah, too good.
It is too rich and too good, but a special treat nonetheless, so enjoy. Right behind them, the Kennedy Performing Arts Center, now in their 26th year in North Central dance and theater arts community. Music provided by the Kennedy Jazz Ensemble with music from Broadway to jazz to swing. Its competitive dance company is an award-winning performance team.
The city of Holbrook is coming up next. Holbrook has a rich and colorful history from back in its prehistoric roots with dinosaurs and the petrified forest and the painted desert. The Wild West days coming up at the turn of the century onto its nostalgic history on Route 66. Holbrook that you're about to see here has something for everyone. They're actually performing Route 66, as you see on their t-shirts there, and Life is a Highway. It's the Holbrook High School's Swing Thing Show Choir, and I encourage you to, if you're making a road trip around the state of Arizona, to make sure that it is on your list.
Yeah, some of the great places to see along Route 66, and again, a great history lesson as well, as that was the one way to get from coast to coast at one time. Right behind them, the Tucson Chinese Cultural Center Lion Dance Team. This is a group that seeks to preserve Chinese culture and heritage, teaching kids and adults the traditional lion and dragon dances. These dances have been used for thousands of years as symbols of good luck, happiness, and prosperity. Great to see so much culture and heritage reflected in our community, all in one place. A great education for the children who are in the audience today, just to be able to see how different people celebrate and how different cultures react.
Yeah, and we're right across, our studios are right across from the Chinese Cultural Center, and there are just some great things to experience over there. If you haven't been over to one of the festivals that they have throughout the year to learn even more, we invite you to do so. A great, fun, beautiful, and colorful, as you see. Up next is the Sleep America Cloud. 4 years in the Fiesta Bowl Parade. Sleep America is the largest mattress retailer in Arizona. Started in 1997, they have more than 150 employees now, more than 40 store locations across our state. And so many of you know Debbie Gaby and Sleep America. They've given so much back to so many local organizations and charities. 500 of them, to be a little more specific. Water donations, gift certificates, bed programs. Since they started, they just really, really give back. And this year, Sleep America proudly celebrates 15 years of business.
There you see the folks from Ballet Folclorio Alegria. It means happiness in Spanish, and formed in 2002 to provide a safe environment for dancers to build their self-esteem and to promote cultural awareness. This group is run by 3 college students, actually, who volunteer their time. Such amazing costumes that you see as part of the traditional Mexican dances there. to see so many young faces in so many of these groups who are learning the traditions early on, passed from generation to generation, and learning the same sorts of things they're going to pass along to their own children at some point.
It's so important to hold on to these things. And, you know, we're seeing this street view here, and the view from above is just so beautiful with all the colors and the twirling as well that you only get to see if you're watching from home.
Speaking of a history lesson, coming up next, the Buffalo Soldiers of America. They're a motorcycle club, Arizona chapter, nonprofit organization comprised of veterans, educators, business people. They carry on the traditions and the legacy of the original Buffalo Soldiers who were formed back in 1866. And throughout their history, the Buffalo Soldiers have actually been awarded 19 Medals of Honor for valor. Familiar rumble of the Harleys heading down the road. We haven't seen that many motorcycle groups this year, but good to see them out there. And really, you see people from all over the country coming to Arizona to ride the roadways and up through the desert. It's just great weather for a motorcycle ride these days. So many places allow you to just rent one for the day and head up into the mountains. And so great to see people getting out there and enjoying a ride.
Let's take you on to the Crestwood High School, Manaway, Ohio. Crestwood Scarlet Guard Marching Band. Kate Ferguson is the band's director, and the band assistant director, Ashley Martin. They're drum majors here today as well. The village is located along the Cuyahoga River, and Crestwood High School Marching Band enjoys a reputation for their excellence in music, aesthetically complemented by visual images and movement reflecting the mood and the character of their music. They're recognized as one of the top programs in Ohio. Crestwood Scarlet Guard continues the tradition of success, requiring a high degree of dedication, effort, pride on each part for each person who's involved in this group.
Seen some of the shots of people that have lined the parade route here. People just bring their kids out and just spend a better part of the day out here. They'll start off with breakfast sometimes, and they want to get a good spot right in front to see all of the marching bands, all of these people who have traveled from all over the country just to be here as part of the Fiesta Bowl festivities. Let's check out the Ms. Senior Arizona organization. These ladies entertain and work on events throughout the year, all to benefit victims of domestic violence. The founders of the annual Cameo Charity Ball, now in its 10th year to benefit domestic violence victims. And the cars, courtesy of the Arizona Thunderbird Club, Sun City Corvette Club, and the Arizona Ayante and XLX Club. So some car enthusiasts out there. And good to see these fine ladies really helping out people in the community.
Some neat cars, too. Love to see these.
Yeah, original Thunderbird you see there, and some of the folks who really latched onto the vintage Cadillacs, the Chevy Corvettes, which have undergone so many incarnations over the year. Brand new Chevy Corvette just out this year, and it's just
a
beautiful
looker
to see. Yeah, it's beautiful to see
It's
some of these
awesome.
cars. It really is amazing. And you see right there the 19 sign for those Granite Mountain Hot Shots. You're going to see that all over the parade route. Just about every organization wants to get involved and honor those heroes in some way.
So many different clubs around the valley and so many different groups to take part of this parade just really highlights that. If there's something that you're interested in, something that you love, there is probably a group for it or about it in the valley. And the best part is so many of these groups not only come together by their shared hobby or shared likeness or shared sport, but in the name of charity and finding a way to give back to so many deserving charities across the valley that it's just really great to see.
Yeah, it's wonderful that they know they can attract a little bit of attention, and they've got a good base of people that can get out there, really want to be active in the community and just raise funds. So it's wonderful to see so many of them not just having a little fun themselves, but doing it all for people who might not be as fortunate as they are. I didn't realize there were so many convertibles in the valley. You would think there are plenty of convertibles in the valley, but boy, they seem to all come out for the Fiesta Bowl parade, and what a beautiful day for it. The Chamber of Commerce has to be happy when you get this kind of national exposure and you see this kind of weather here in Arizona. It makes people want to come here, and certainly bodes well for all of the bids that we do for Super Bowls and big events like that, because they help out our economy so much.
Yeah, well, especially this year when they could possibly have quite a snowstorm back east for the Super Bowl, and we have this gorgeous weather here. So many of the hiking trails were just packed this week as people were able to get out and take part and enjoy that weather as well. You see the AZ Mini Mystique coming up next, the miniature horse-driven drill team performing some of their exciting drill maneuvers to some lively music, and they are always a crowd favorite as the kids love to see these adorable horses out there, and you hear some of them right now, Mom, Mom, pointing and getting their parents' attention to see what they see coming down the parade route. The American miniature horses range in height, get this, from 29 to 34 inches tall.
Amazing, less than 3 feet high in some cases, and yet they have all the spirit of a full-size horse, and you gotta love the people that carry on these traditions as well. Right behind them, we've got the Plum Performing Arts Center there, and they were formed back in 1974. They're dedicated to providing students with a wide variety of performing art programs, and they're a group that helps out the young folks as well. Their members range in age from 3 all the way up to 18. You know, they've practiced hard. To be here. You know, they've worked very hard on all of these routines, and we're sitting right in front of the grandstand where all of the VIPs come, so it's go time. When they get to this point, it is time to put on a show.
It sure is, and fueled, as we said, by potato chips, as the Tostitos is distributing 16,000 bags of chips throughout the parade route, and 9 floats, 18 balloons. Nearly 1,000 volunteers show up just to make the parade a success, both before and after the grandstand setup and tear down and all of the things that help to line Central Avenue and make it a safe, fun family event.
CDW Wild West Cowboy coming up next. Now in 6 years in the Fiesta Bowl Parade. They've got offices nationwide. They help small, medium, and large businesses, government, education, healthcare, customers navigate increasingly complex technology decisions and maximize the return on their IT investment. Their broad array of offerings range from hardware and software products to advanced services, integrated IT solutions, mobility, security, cloud computing, virtualization, and data center optimization. CDW.com for more. You gotta love, that's a big cowboy.
It sure is.
You gotta love that. You know, it's really great to see so many of these folks who are really kind of experiencing something new for their schools. A BCS Bowl appearance, the first for both UCF and Baylor in the Fiesta Bowl. They're both coming off their best regular season in school history. And coming up right behind them, we've got the Boulder Creek High School marching band from right here in Anthem, Arizona, Jaguar Pride, coming to you. Let's listen in.
Beautiful, strong clarinet. And there, they were founded in 2004. The Boulder Creek Jaguar Pride program has developed a tradition of musical excellence. The Pride was named the recipient of the Arizona State Coach Fleming Award in 2012.
You see a couple of Michigan fans cheering on the marching bands. Haven't seen as many Baylor and UCF fans, but that game's still a couple of days away. We've certainly seen plenty of folks, though, from both Michigan and K-State, and excited to be here. Coming up right behind them, members of the Gila River Executive Office, including Governor Mendoza of the Gila River Indian Community, riding with the reigning Miss Gila River, Lisa Hendricks, and the banner carriers are comprised of Akamel Utam of the P. Posh Youth Council as well.
Happy New Year, everyone.
A big hello from the crowd there. In the next group, United States Marshals Posse. The U.S. Marshal Service is the country's oldest federal law enforcement agency, and Arizona's U.S. Marshal is David Gonzalez, who oversees one of the biggest and busiest districts in the country. And I think on that last shot, I saw him right there in the passenger seat in the front. There he is.
Familiar face to a lot of us, though, because we've followed many of their investigations. A very active group out there, and certainly here in the Old West, the U.S. Marshal Service, very familiar to a lot of folks here. Right behind them, the Arizona Blues Company, as we see some of the members of the U.S. Marshal Service passing by here. Up behind them, as we mentioned, the Arizona Blues Company, they're a premier Blues Brothers tribute band in the Southwest, performing from the Arizona Blues Company Blues Mobile. Has a familiar look to it, doesn't it? Looks a lot like the one right from the movie, the old squad car, the fantastic chase scenes that you see in the Blues Brothers. You can watch the brothers energize the parade route, playing rhythm and blues track favorites. Arizona Blues Company. A lot of movie themes in this parade today.
Let's listen in. Getting the crowd going there. If you're sitting at home thinking, this all looks like a lot of fun and something I want to be involved in next year, the Fiesta Bowl charities obviously promoting volunteerism through all the projects that are carried out by the Fiesta Bowl committee throughout the year. But you can find out all the information and ways to get involved and ways to take part by visiting their website, which is fiestabowl.org.
Blues Brothers definitely hamming it up for the crowd here in the grandstand. Coming up right behind them, Dance Republic's Dance Explosion. Here the dancers range in age from 4 to 15. They perform all over the valley, and the goal is to help young dancers build their confidence and take pride in what they do. Quite a float they've got decked out there, too. A lot of decoration, a lot of work going into this. All of it, of course, happening right around the holidays. So it's a busy time, especially for moms and dads out there trying to get their kids ready for this performance and get floats ready and still put on the holidays as well.
Yeah. And oftentimes there's brothers and sisters involved in other sports and other activities. I know a couple of the kids involved in this one, and it's juggling between brothers' baseball events and getting to your practice, and life goes on, and it's called Tuesday. You know, it's busy and it's fun, and they wouldn't have it any other way. Coming up behind them, Hungry Howie's with the Arizona state flag. This is their first year in the Fiesta Bowl parade. Hungry Howie's is proud to sponsor the Arizona state flag balloon. Hungry Howie's Arizona is home to the free flavored crust. 18 local family-owned and operated locations all across the valley. They are dedicated to supporting children in our community. If you want to check out all the locations and find out if there's one near you, or peek at the menu, visit hungryhowiesarizona.com.
And right behind them, all the way from Bloomington, Minnesota, the Thomas and Jefferson High School Marching Band, the Marching Jaguars, playing the Magnificent Seven by Elma Bernstein and Ghost Riders by Stan Jones. Let's listen in. band that has actually performed all over the world: Canada, Spain, England, Norway, Switzerland, many more countries. They've appeared on 8 different occasions at Disney World. The first Minnesota band performed there in 1972. And it's their 4th appearance in the Fiesta Bowl Parade.
Next up, the First Institutional Baptist Church Cheerleaders. The group performs at church and senior citizen centers, and the banner is carried by Girl Scout Troop 1141, who also participates in community service projects all throughout the valley.
Gotta love the smiles on their faces and the confidence that you see in all of them. Just being a part of a community organization like this, it really helps to build their confidence and self-esteem. Right behind them, the Arathi School of Dances. They're striving to preserve the authenticity of Indian classical dance forms. You see the amazing, colorful costumes that they have there. And once again, just a representation of the wonderful cultural diversity that we have here all over the valley. They continue to explore new avenues of expressions of art. I gotta wonder, some of the kids watching, whether they just ask a question and mom says, well, go Google that and find out a little bit more about a different culture or a different way of life or different people, because it's a wonderful lesson for kids about history and some of the different people that make up our community here.
Really beautiful to see how their outfits just light up in the sunlight with the blue and the gold. We want to move on to Nathan Martin's Arizona Memorial and the American Gold Star Mothers of Arizona, named in honor of a local U.S. Navy corpsman who died in Iraq in 2005. Nathan Martin's Arizona Memorial was created to give honor to Arizona's fallen heroes of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, located at the entry of the Santan Mountain Regional Park. American Gold Star Mothers of Arizona is an organization of moms who have lost a son or daughter in the service to our country.
Our hearts and prayers go out to all of those moms who have gotten that terrible news at some point, but it's wonderful to see that they persevere, they move on, they pay honor and tribute to all who have fallen and sacrificed for our country, and they quickly turn and lend support to other moms and dads who've also lost sons or daughters in some of the conflicts that we've seen over the last several years.
It's a beautiful way to remember them and a way to feel close to them this time of year as well.
Up next, Caribbean Zone. They're a nonprofit arts organization and a replica of a traditional carnival village coming from Trinidad and Tobago. This year's presentation, Secrets of the Grand Canyon, will portray life under the desert sun with costumes representing burros, butterflies, and birds, representing both Trinidad and Tobago here in Arizona. Beautiful costumes here. How do you get something like that in the car? That's what I want to know.
I love it.
When you're taking it down to the parade.
I just love seeing, some of the costumes and some of the different uniforms year after year as they add little things on, little touches. And I mean, look at that, just so beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely memories that last a lifetime, whether you're involved or just out here on the parade route to take part. It's just a great way.
Yeah, great cultural lesson. Great way to just stir some curiosity for young kids out there to understand a little bit more about different cultures, places all over the world, all coming together right here in Arizona. Imagine. Coming up next, the Arizona Equine Rescue Organization. They're a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization providing services to rescue abused and neglected horses. They respond to large animal emergencies. They provide community education and at-risk youth programs as well. They provide emergency first response services to horses year-round thanks to the many kind donations of individuals and businesses in Arizona, everybody who loves horses. The Aero Large Animal Response Team and the parade veterinarian, Dr. Mark Fink, proud to ensure the safety of the Fiesta Bowl equestrian entries during today's parade. So good to know we've got some folks right out here who can help out in case any of these horses find themselves in a little bit of trouble out there.
Let's go back down to street level and check in with Amber Sullins and see how people are enjoying the parade.
How's that for you, Steve and Katie? They are absolutely loving it up here. They've had a great time. We got a lot of Kansas State fans, some Michigan fans. In fact, I found some Michigan fans that came all the way from Michigan to enjoy the Fiesta Bowl this year. And how are you liking this weather?
Oh, it's great.
I mean, I was talking to her earlier, and she's like, I've been in snow and rain, and what's the worst conditions you've seen for a Michigan game?
For a Michigan game, rain, snow, 15 degrees, freezing cold.
So you're going to love the game tonight. I think we're going to be in the 50s at kickoff tonight at the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl.
That's comfortable, nice. Football weather, fall weather for us.
Fall weather, it's perfect. So give me your prediction on the score. Of course, the Michigan win, you're thinking. What do you think the score is going to be?
I don't know. What do you think, John? I'll say 30-27.
Pretty close, pretty close. All right, you're giving Kansas State some credit.
Yes, yes. They're supposed to be pretty good, and we have a freshman quarterback starting.
That's right.
That's our quarterback center.
All right, we'll say a little prayer for you.
Yes, go blue.
All right, you guys, it's been great, and we are loving all the visitors. I don't know if we're going to get them to leave because it's so perfect out here, but what a wonderful Fiesta Bowl parade once again.
Yeah, well, we invite them to stay forever because they have been so gracious and so fun to have them a part of our community, and we want to thank our entire crew from ABC 15 who's been out here working this parade as well.
Yeah, it takes a lot of people to put on a parade production like this. Some of these guys have been here since 5 or 6 o'clock this morning, so they have been working very hard, and of course weeks in the planning as well. So a big shout out to everybody in the ABC 15 crew. That's going to wrap up our coverage of the 43rd annual Fort McDowell Fiesta Bowl Parade. We want to thank you for spending the morning with us.
And we want to thank all of you who have participated and volunteered and came out here to watch the parade, to our community for coming out and supporting Arizona. Happy holidays.